Hey guys, it's COREROSS, and today we're doing a video on the top 3 things that I think COREROSS needs to succeed. And the way I see it is that when we get this COREROSS update that's been in development for 3 years now, of course that's also alongside actually maintaining Rainbow Six Siege as a live service game during that period, but they've also sacrificed this season Operation Prep phase to do no balancing changes, no events or anything like that, and try and put everything into this COREROSS update. So I see this as the future of Siege that will kind of get locked in now, and after this there probably won't be another significant update to this magnitude in the future for at least the next 5 to 10 years if Siege is still around at that point. So if COREROSS is missing a pinnacle feature with this update, then I don't think it's going to ever get it in the future. And I think we'll start with the one thing I want to see with COREROSS, and that is a brand new anti-cheat. Now I actually say this from a console player's point of view because I used to play on console, then I went to PC, then I went back to console. And the reason I went back to console was the cheating was just too bad on PC, as although you do have cheaters on console, and they can be quite numerous as well, at least they can't see through walls. However, recently on PC, we've seen a lot of additional stuff, not just seeing through walls or aimbots or stuff like that. We've seen way crazier stuff and actually new types of cheats we've never seen before. Now, Ubisoft has officially come out with different blog posts on cheating and anti-cheats and stuff like that, and they have very much said they're keeping Battle Eye, and they've even praised it at times. So I don't think they're getting rid of Battle Eye, which is a unfortunate thing. I think they could do with mixing things up with a new anti-cheat, but right now, of course, nothing has been announced. If they were going to change it and put a new anti-cheat in, they would probably do it as one of the final announcements because that gives the cheat developers less time to adapt. But it's not looking good for them ditching Battle Eye and going to something else. But fingers crossed, maybe something crazy will end up happening. But this is definitely my number one thing I'd love to see in COREROSS. And I think if we don't get it with the COREROSS update, it's never going to happen. Now, the second thing I think COREROSS needs is brand new events, and this has to be right from the get-go. So, of course, for the last bunch of years, we've had no new events. We now know, of course, why, because they were developing COREROSS in the background, and we just got reused events and recolored skins, and I'm definitely burnt out on the events at this point. And then prep phase, we actually got, of course, no event. But we did get an event before that season with the attack on Hereford base, which was top notch. So I'm very much hoping that there was some development time put aside while COREROSS was being developed to actually work on new events, get a bunch in the bank ready for the next couple of seasons to really push the story forward, to give extremely good gameplay and different gameplay. Like Attack on Hereford was a very different event from usual, and I'm kind of hoping we see more of that. And this is something they would have to have been working on alongside COREROSS' development as part of it. And then I would hope as well that, of course, once this development for COREROSS is kind of done, all those resources can get put into making events and cool stuff for the future. And of course, that means if COREROSS launches and the very next event after it is a reuse, I will see that as a very big fail, unfortunately. And then the third and final thing is an operator progression system. And I was actually hoping the badges on the player cards would end up being this, but of course they unfortunately just end up being global stuff that any operator can do, and then you can add those badges to any character you want. What I want to see is badges specific for each operator based on their main gadget. And I want to see, like, I want to have a thermite on my team with a badge that shows he's gone through like 10,000 reinforced walls, so that I know that guy is a master of that character. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could just be a couple of badges based on the main gadget of the operator and just simply, like I say, shows progression with that character. But if you want to go a little bit more complicated, you could certainly throw in a mastery camo or stuff like that, just to show simple progression with each operator. It's also something that people can then aim for, or of course, just get as they simply play the game. And I do always love some way of kind of keeping track of those kind of things. But anyway, guys, that's the 3 things I think COREROSS needs to survive. And like I say, with COREROSS being the big update, and I think after this, of course, it's just going back to maintaining the game. I'm expecting this to be the big change. And after this, maybe not so much crazy stuff going on, apart from a new couple of features here and there every year. However, let me know in the comments below if you have any specific stuff you'd like to see added to the game in the future.